Hi everybody. Today I'm going to showcase the SuccessBeat capability, which is part of our campaigns functionality. So to get to the campaigns, I'm going to click on the campaigns link on the left navigation, and I'm going to simply start a new campaign, which is going to be my SuccessBeat campaign. And if you're not familiar with SuccessBeats, SuccessBeats are very similar to the concept that you may be familiar with wearable fitness devices like a Fitbit. So Fitbit allows you to track your heart rate, your steps, and similarly, Totango can allow you to reflect your customers' usage back to them based on what they're doing in your product. So I already have an example SuccessBeat that I started building. The first steps are to give it a name and a description. So I'm simply calling it SuccessBeat Hot Tip. And I'm selecting one of my types of campaigns. So one of my templates is going to be SuccessBeat campaign. And I click on continue. And here is where I can define my segment. So who are the customers that are going to be receiving this SuccessBeat reflection campaign? So I'm going to start with paying customers, and I only want a message to my key contacts for this particular communication. I can quickly audit who these people are to make sure I have my right segment identified. And I can also see a preview of that segment. I will click on continue. I can also specify a goal for my particular SuccessBeat. So if I want my customers to take advantage of a specific feature or functionality, I can make it very specific, or I can simply say that I want my customers to be using the product, in the last 7 days. So basically, I want them to be active weekly. That will be my goal. I will continue. And this is where I can come up with a creative email subject, and I simply called it your weekly activity beat. I can specify who it's coming from, so it can come from an individual or it can come directly from the Success Manager, which is actually a good best practice because it will come directly to the customer from their designated Success Manager who they're familiar with. So feel free to designate that sender. Here's where I can start customizing my message. So I already defined and added a banner for myself. You can add your own custom banner to this and start customizing your message. So the first part of it is going to be the message part. So I can actually customize my text. I can send it directly to my individual user. So I can find my first name. So I can make sure that I'm addressing it to the right person with their specific name. If for some reason there's no name, I can specify a fallback. So typically for us, when we don't have a first name available, we just say there. And I can also add other information to this text. I can make it as granular, as rich as I'd like. But for now, I'm going to keep it pretty simple. And I'm going to focus on just the key data that I want to reflect on. If there's ever any other additional data that you want to infuse into the message, you can actually click on this little Add Data button. And that allows you to select any type of attribute, either on the account level or the user level that you want to infuse into the body of your message. So for example, if one of the things that you're trying to communicate to your customer has something to do with their NPS score, or something that is relevant to support tickets. So essentially anything that we have in the system for you, your data that's coming either from your product or from your CRM or any other system, we can infuse it into the text of the message. But as a default structure for the particular SuccessBeat, we already have 3 cards over here that are visuals. And those are the ones you can customize and infuse the data into. You can also change the image. So we have these cute little icons, but you can include your own custom image for the specific data representation. And then you simply define what is the data that you want to add. So you're going to be looking for either, again, a specific account level information, or you can also look at user level information. So the difference is the little person icon versus the briefcase icon for the account level data. So if I wanted to look at something that this customer has done, some sort of activity count. So if I wanted to look at how many documents this user created in the last 7 days, because I'm going to be doing this weekly, I can do that. So my data is going to show that user how many documents they created, and I can change the text. So I can call it documents created. And I can proceed and move on to the next card. after I've done that. So I can do the same, and I can select my other activity that is interesting for me. And maybe it's going to be related to documents again. So now I want to do document shared. And I can just change the text of this. And I can call it documents shared. And then I can proceed to the next card, card number 3. If you only want to do 2 cards, you can remove the extra cards that are not going to be applicable, but I'm going to use all 3, and I'm going to also do something relevant to the documents, and I'm going to do documents viewed. So I'm going to call this documents viewed. So now that I have all my cards updated, I can also work on my signature. I can say, have a great day, and I can sign it. The other little tip here is, instead of clicking on add data, you can actually use the $sign, and then it will expose this specific data for you. And then I can just type in and search for my Success Manager, because I want to address it directly from the Customer Success Manager. Or if I don't have a Success Manager, maybe I can just call it CS Team. That's my other fallback if for some reason I don't have that data. And then I can preview my message. So I can make sure that my message looks right. So I'm going to get a quick preview with a test user as to how this is going to look. I can make sure my text is updated. I can make sure all my data that I want to include is here and that I have the relevant data. I can also send myself a test message. So please do this when you are working in templates and creating campaigns, to make sure everything arrives and looks exactly how you want it. And after I'm done previewing and I'm happy with my message, I can go on and schedule it. So I can click on continue, and actually I'm just going to add the little link in here so I can proceed. And now that I'm here, I can schedule my campaign. And the key thing for SuccessBeats, these are supposed to be recurring campaigns, because you're going to be sending this reflection regularly to your customers. And the frequency depends on you. We do this weekly at Totango, so maybe every Monday morning you send this reflection as a SuccessBeat to the same group of people. And the data is going to change in the body of the message, because maybe this week they have downloaded or edited or created more documents than last week. But it will reflect their performance and hopefully show them some improvements, and you'll give them some suggestions as to how to take advantage and maybe get better or improve what they're doing. So I will schedule this. I can schedule it recurring. I can specify a date, time zone, and my recurrence pattern. So daily, weekly, or monthly, and select the day of the week. And after I'm done, I basically click on continue, and my message is going to be activated. And then I'll be able to set this up and have my users get this regularly and get a good reflection of how they're using my product. So once I'm enabling it, my campaign, my SuccessBeat, is going to activate and arrive in the inboxes of my users. I hope this was helpful. We will look forward to seeing you again soon.